What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again this week. During the winter time, things get a little bit slow, but this year I've been occupying my time in this downtime with some projects. So being project focused, I figured I'd take you along on two of the more time-consuming projects that I've got going on right now. One involving animals, one not. So hang out with me, let's take a peek. I've been moving away from some of the traditional sales platforms online, doing a lot of my own self-promotion and marketing, and I've been working on building a website. Well, I figured rather than just talk about it, I would give the viewers here a little bit of an inside view of what's going on here and promote my web builder a little bit to get him a little bit more of the limelight, because he's honestly doing more of the hard work. You guys have seen the video where I set up the photo tent, where I'm putting animals under big tubs and letting them chill and take photos, and that's kind of all the same across how it goes, but then he puts it all together. So by he, I mean Adler Romero of AE Foundry. I will include his information below here. I will have all of that there so you guys can reach out to him if any of you are looking to have a website built, if any of you are looking for logos to be done, video, like graphic editing, cool things like that. I'll include some samples of his work right here so you can see it while I'm just running my mouth, but he's a bit of a wizard with a computer, and some of the amazing graphic art he does and the web building and everything is top notch. It also doesn't hurt that he's a reptile guy himself, so you can go check out his Instagram profile and see for yourself, but Adler's a great guy and loves reptiles, so what more could you ask for in a web builder if you are a reptile person like myself? So we're getting away from the third party sort of sales ad pages where you've got to pay for stuff and have your ads listed. What I'm going to do, the wording and things are going to change. Some of these photos are going to change. That's not necessarily my photo. We're going to do a lot of the wording and whatnot differently. And you might see some little layouts change. These are some of my photos, but essentially you're going to be able to go onto the website, scroll through, see what I work with personally, see what I have available any given time of the year, and find areas with sort of like news updates, anything that's going on, links to the videos here, so on and so forth. So it'll be a nice hub, a nice central home base for everything Riley's Reptiles. I've already got the link tree set up for everything as far as like a digital trail. You can kind of go there and find everything. I'll have all that information as well included, so you can check that out. But having a website will take things up the next notch. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to save me a lot of money instead of having to pay for these classified ad subscriptions that don't really do much for you, and the owner likes to berate people. I'm just going to cut that middleman out and do it myself. So the website is being built. We're only a couple weeks out. Waiting on a couple animals to shed out so I can get the last few photographs. Today my plan is to do a little bit of creative writing for that website, fill in some of those lines, and just kind of keep the ball rolling. The holidays is obviously a nice break for everybody, including Adler, so we're going to be picking that up hopefully this week and see where we go. But I didn't want to talk more about the website without promoting Adler. Again, wonderful person, great guy, reptile lover all around, so I highly recommend if you are looking for a web builder or any graphic design work for logos or your social media, anything like that, definitely reach out to him. So it's a good cost. It's going to a good person, local business, so happy to pay the money for it, and I'm very happy with what we've been able to work out so far. So Adler, you're the man. Thank you very much for this, and now let's move on to the second project that has been occupying my time during this winter downtime. Alrighty, so as many of you all know, when it comes to my pythons and animals like that during the winter, they're not getting fed. They're kind of just hanging out, cooling down, and shut down for the winter. Well, this year I've gone and added some little baby hoggies. So these beautiful anacondas are both het snow, so they are double het for albino and axanthic. And these come by way of a friend and patron and fellow Morelia enthusiast John Nygren of John Nygren's Reptiles. So I will have his information below as well. And these little things came to me nice and established. One of them needed a little bit of encouragement with some tuna, and they're just these wily, squirmy little things. They're still warm, so they've got tons of energy. I've been really enjoying them. Their personalities are fantastic. They act like hissy little rattlesnakes. They've got keeled scales, adorable little faces, great attitudes on them. Just wonderful little snakes. I mean, what more can I say? How can you not love some beautiful little hognose? So I'm very excited to announce that I have stepped into the world of hognose. I should have done it sooner, not gonna lie. I had thought about it for a long time and mentioned it to a lot of my friends and just never really took the plunge. And then this year the right opportunity presented itself. You know, John is a patron of mine, and we worked out a great deal. He loved the citrus tiger stuff, so sent him a beautiful albino citrus tiger, and yeah, here we are. So thank you, John. These are eating machines, growing nicely, wonderful animals. Could not be more excited for these little hognose and their futures. But these aren't the only ones I got. No, you know me. I can't ever do things light. I gotta step into something with both feet usually. So let's look at the other half of the project. Okay, so when I got the pair of anaconda het snows in from John, I thought, well, I know how big these get. I've got space. What would be a nice project to complement the snow anaconda, or whatever it's called, the Super Yeti or the Yeti project? And I happened to be at the Sacramento Reptile Show this past fall, and the wonderful folks of Geckos Etc are always there. And I went over and talked to the owner, Steve Sykes, and my buddy Armando, who works for them, and I asked what they thought would be a complementary project to that. And I ended up walking away with a pair of hognose that are 100% het sable. Now, this big beautiful lady is also pos het toffee belly, but I'm more interested in the sable end of things. Maybe down the line I'll pursue the toffee belly stuff, but she's already got some fantastic size on her. She's grown even since I've gotten her. Eating machine, voracious little thing. I actually have to be kind of careful with her. She'll come out and just bite the first thing. She's already grabbed my thumb, my poor thumb. She bit it right below the scar, and I've still got swelling and scar tissue there. It itched for about an hour, and my thumb ached for a while, so that was a fun experience. But this is a really cool snake. This is, you know, it's nice when they're a little bit bigger. You kind of get to envision it a little bit more, but I love the personality. You can feel the keeled scales a lot more. For anybody who doesn't know, keeled scales, think of like the underside of a boat, how it's kind of like shaped like that. It's turned upside down. They have a ridge line running down the middle of every scale, so you can really see and feel that texture. They're just wonderful little snakes, super unique. Obviously this girl's only a yearling, so she's got plenty of growing to do, but so far my dip into the hognose world has been nothing but fun and excitement. Alongside John, the folks at Geckos Etc are wonderful as well. So if you're ever curious about who to reach out to, maybe to get your first hognose, John Nygren and Geckos Etc. Those are my first two and most highly recommended individuals and groups right there. So, but of course I didn't just get her. I wanted to start with her because she's big and impressive, but I wanted to save the male for last, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this little male is also a het sable, but he is way red. It's not showing up on camera quite as much, unfortunately, but this guy is just, oh yeah, it's definitely not picking up on camera. beautiful red tones. Wonderful, wonderful little attitude, of course. Great feeder. But man, I really wish you guys could see this red on him. He's spectacular. Just a beautiful snake. I love the idea that this base color red could make for a nicer potential visual sable whenever they get to breeding in a couple years. Maybe that'll lend well to things. I also have been learning a little bit about the hognose. I know that the sable stuff was found in Montana, so maybe naturally those animals are more of a red tone. Maybe that's what I'm seeing, but just super cool regardless. Also from Geckos Etc, Steve Sykes and Armando. Steve has an entire team over there. It's just my buddy Armando I know particularly does the snakes, so shout out to those folks. But yeah, these things are cool. For me, they're like little rattlesnakes without having to worry about it. I've worked with rattlesnakes professionally for a long time. I don't keep any privately, but I worked with a lot of them in zoos, and I'm obsessed with the visual look of that keeled texture to them. I love it. I love the attitude. I think they're fantastic. A nice representative of a North American colubrid that personally I think is going to dominate the reptile hobby as far as pets are considered. They're great size, they're wonderful animals, really friendly, a lot of color variety in them, and I think they've got a bright future. So the reason why these have been occupying my time lately is because they are still up and eating during the winter, and they eat a little bit more frequently than my pythons do. These guys you can feed every 4 or 5 days or so, depending on what you're feeding them. So active metabolism keeps me nice and busy, gives me something to do during the winter time when the rest of the carpets over here aren't really eating, and they're just a lot of fun. So in between working on the website, playing with baby snakes, I'm having a good time. So on that note, I figure I'll probably wrap this video up. Big shout out to Heligai Serpents. Much love, Chris. Everybody go show Chris some love. HeligaiSerpents.com and at Heligai Serpents on Instagram for all that 3D printed snake perching and reptile goodness. My other big sponsor, Reptiles Express and PremiumCrickets.com. Wonderful, wonderful folks. Go check them out if you're doing any shipping. If you need any crickets or feeder insects shipped to your door, those two companies will take care of you. They've got discount codes going on. Actually, so does Chris over at Heligai Serpents. Riley 10 for folks over there. And Reptiles Express, use code Riley50 to get 50% off up to 10 shipping labels per customer. And Riley15 over at PremiumCrickets.com. So those are my two big sponsors. Much love to them. They support me through a lot of this creative documentation and exploring for you guys, and help me continue to do it in fun ways. So much love to them. I always got to give a big shout out and plug to USARK. For those of you who might be watching who have never heard of USARK, I'm going to put all their information right below here, and USARK Florida as well. They are basically the lobbying group that helps take on any harmful legislation that might be aimed at taking away our ability to keep these wonderful animals as pets. So go support them, because they do everything they can to support us. And last but not least, go check out Patreon. Again, I mentioned John Nygren, who sent me the first pair of hognose we looked at. He's a Patreon member, so much love to John and everybody else in the Patreon. You can just find me there under Riley Jimison. And I know this isn't a carpet python related video, but I figured it was a little bit different, something fun, something fresh, and maybe we'll bring over some of the hognose family into the Morelia world and blend the two and have some fun. So if you're into hognose and you're seeing this, go check out some of my other videos and see if you ever consider some carpet pythons and want to dabble. Carpets and hogs, two great species to me. So Anyway, cheers again. Thank you for everybody who stuck through and watched this video to this point. Love you guys. Love everybody. Hope you all are having a wonderful, safe holiday. And I'll catch you on the next one. Later.